Well, we have made it to Friday together. Welcome into Coffee Country and Cody, 650 AM WSM and circlecountry.com, streaming all around the world. Welcome in. I'm Charlie Mattos. That's Eryn Cooper.
Hi.
The Onlys have held down the fort for the week with Bill Cody on vacation and Kelly Sutton being really, really busy in Frisco, Texas. And Eryn Cooper, that's where we'll do a lot of entertainment this morning because the ACMs have come and gone. And who was the big winner last night?
Oh, my goodness. Miss Lainey Wilson took home 3 awards to really nobody's surprise. And I think everybody's joy, I would have to say.
Oh, absolutely. It was a very popular choice. She's just put in the time. I mean, she mentions in her speech 13 years in Nashville, 7-year town, 10-year town. Be patient, people. 13-year town, maybe,
Yes.
So.
And we will have some behind-the-scenes looks with Kelly Sutton, who looked stunning in a gold gown last night on the red carpet at the ACMs. She had some special moments with Lainey Wilson after she won her awards, as well as a very surprise performer who joined on stage with another one of last night's winners. So our Male Artist of the Year winner, in fact. So who that was and how that performance came to be, that's coming up in entertainment headlines, along with all of last night's winners. And don't worry, we do have some non-ACMs related news as well.
All right. Well, I was at the Opry last night for Opry Country Classics, the season finale. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of these clips because I did not get to watch the show. So everything I've heard seemed really good. I'm very happy for Lainey. Coming up in just a little bit, Becky Buller in studio, the Becky Buller Band with a brand new album out today. They're going to play for us. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, back-to-back nights at the Ryman. Drew Holcomb's going to come see us as well.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Just a little past 8 o'clock here in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome in. WSM Radio, circlecountry.com, streaming around the world. The Onlys have taken over this morning, as we have all week, with Bill on vacation and Kelly coming back from the ACM Awards. And a pleasure to look across our studio and welcome our longtime friend, Becky Buller, in studio. Welcome.
Hey, Charlie. It's good to be here.
It's exciting. We got a brand new record. It's release day.
Yes, it's release day. Thank you for having me in.
I think you have, how long? 15 years, maybe, from the first time you came to see us, or even longer?
Actually, no, 2003.
Wow.
With my Little Bird record.
So this is our 20th anniversry, or plus, actually, 21. Yeah. We can drink and drive.
I was going to say,
maybe
not together.
Not at the same time.
Charlie, not together.
Oh, goodness. Well, it is great to see you. So
Thank you.
The record is fantastic.
Thank you.
Just love it. It is called Jubilee. It is out today. You had a nice little CD release show last night at the Station Inn.
We did.
Yeah?
It was so much fun. Yeah, I know we didn't sell out, but it was real close to it. We had a really great crowd, and we had people from all over the world. We had 3 Australians there.
Ooh.
And some folks from Great Britain, even some Minnesotans.
Oh, yes.
My home planet.
You're in the Hall of Fame there.
I am.
As of last spring, right? It's been about a year?
Yes, it's been a year. Yeah. Yeah.
St. James, Minnesota?
St. James, Minnesota. Yeah. The county seat of Watonwan County.
So how far from Minneapolis, just to give us perspective?
It's about 2 hours southwest.
Oh, so that's a ways. Okay. All right.
Yeah, we're outstate.
Yes. A lot of lakes?
Or
not so much?
We have a lake in St. James there.
Because it is the land of 10,000
it
lakes,
is.
right?
Yes.
So, yeah. So, and for those who are sports fans, or actually even better, for those who are sports fans, they probably know. For those who are not sports fans, you always wonder, why is the Los Angeles basketball team named the Lakers? This makes no sense. There's like no lakes in Los Angeles.
Right.
Well, they used to be the Minneapolis Lakers, and it made much more sense.
Absolutely, yes.
So, and early on, I should mention, by the way, my math is right, and correct me if I've gypped you of one, but 9-time IBMA award winner. Does that sound right? I did gyp you of one. I knew I got it wrong. 10-time IBMA award winner, but the first woman ever to win the Fiddler of the Year award. So that is, and no one can ever take that away because once you're the first, right? So
I called home after that happened, and I won the fiddler and the female vocalist.
Yep.
At the same night. It was wild. And I called home, and of course I'm a huge Stuart Duncan fan. He is my favorite fiddler. And I called home, and my husband Jeff, he said, Stuart Duncan never won fiddler and female vocalist.
That's true.
Nor will he ever.
Right.
As a woman in bluegrass of so many firsts like that, what responsibility does that come with, or maybe that you've put on yourself?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Put on myself. I felt in awe. I mean, I couldn't believe that Alison Krauss or Lori Lewis or Deanie Richardson didn't get that title first. You know, I didn't feel worthy of it. Anyway,
And that's how you know you deserve it.
Okay.
So,
Well,
But I'm very grateful.
yeah. What was it like in the crowd when you heard your name? I mean, that had to be kind of crazy. That would have been still in Nashville, or had they moved to Raleigh?
It was already in Raleigh.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, I think, our 11th year in Raleigh.
Wow.
And this is the last year in Raleigh. It'll be moving soon. We don't know where.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved when it was here personally, because I always got to do the red carpet stuff, and I just
Right.
loved that whole week here. But everybody says Raleigh really embraced it and did it right. you know?
Yeah, it's been a huge party
Yeah.
in Raleigh for sure.
You came bearing
different vibe.
You came bearing gifts?
I did. I couldn't bring y'all donuts because I stayed in town last night. But I brought y'all socks,
So
yes.
bluegrass socks.
So as an artist, you know, you get used to seeing your face on album covers, websites, T-shirts. What's it like to see the caricature on a sock? That's an interesting look. And these are great socks,
does
by the
my
way.
heart good.
So.
Thank you. I told you off air, bluegrass socks are the wave of the future. You said you have a Sierra Hull
I have
player.
Sierra Hull socks,
I actually,
yes.
Tony Trishka,
Okay.
fantastic banjo player, he actually hooked me up with his sock guy.
Okay.
And so I have Tony Trishka socks, and these are made by the same folks. And
And you said
Molly
I need to add
Tuttle socks.
Molly Tuttle socks.
Love my Molly socks.
All right.
Yes.
Was she not the first female to win Guitar Player of the Year?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Sierra's the first to win mandolin player. And then Allison Brown is the first to win banjo, I think like back in 1990, maybe. Don't quote me on that.
Right.
And then Missy Raines on the bass. And together we've done some shows out as the First Ladies of Bluegrass.
Uh-huh. Oh, and you got cool T-shirts with all the
Yes.
names, right? Yes, I
Yes.
remember those shirts. That's great stuff. So, well, tell us about Jubilee.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a song cycle. So it's meant to be listened to in sequence in its entirety because it tells a story. And that story is my lifelong struggle with depression and anxiety that really came to a head during the pandemic and just sent me down into a spiral.
Some people, it was interesting too, because some do just fine in isolation, and others it was the worst thing possible. And obviously for you, that was not a good situation, right?
No, yeah. It's so weird because I am such an introvert. I'm naturally really shy, and it takes
So
a
you would
lot
think it
of
would al-
energy for me to be like, you know?
yeah. Which is so weird because every time you've been with us, you're so
Right,
you almost think that is the persona all the time, but it
Right.
is very much not the case.
No.
also quite the contrasting title, Jubilee, and makes you really want to listen to the whole thing in its entirety if it is about such dark and intense topics.
Yeah, and the title. Well, let me back up because I want to say this was actually commissioned by the Fresh Grass Foundation for debut at their 2023 Bentonville, Arkansas Festival. So it's great. They have this wonderful program where they commission different artists, including Allison Brown, Sierra Hull, Sarah Jarosz, Jerry Douglas, to just create these new pieces. I just love the way they're supporting and celebrating artists. So it was just a huge honor to be asked to do this.
So did you find the whole process, because a lot of songwriting and performing, or like an author writing a memoir, it can be cathartic. Did this process help that whole
Yes.
situation?
Yeah. It definitely did. And I hope that it's as therapeutic for folks to listen to as it was for me to write. Because I know there's so many people out there who are struggling with mental health and feel like they're alone. And I just want y'all to know, if that's you, you are not alone. And you would be surprised at how many folks that you think have it all together don't. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody. And it happened fast. It was such a bizarre experience. And I'm just so grateful to be here. And I want y'all to know that your life is precious and you are so loved. And I am praying for you. I don't know what your faith life is like, but that's okay, because I believe in the power of prayer, and I know that was a big part of helping me to get back to feeling normal.
And I'm glad you mentioned the album as a proper entity, because I mean, I'm like everybody. I have playlists, I have my favorite songs,
Right,
I have
yeah.
ones that I go back to, but especially the first time I listen to something, I really like to listen to it the way the artist intended me to listen to it. There's usually a reason why things are in the order they're in, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. So I hope folks, when they first hear it, can kind of take the 40 minutes or so and let it sink in.
Yeah,
you know?
it's actually about 30 minutes long, so it's not too long. So please listen to it all in sequence, and then you can go back and listen to your favorite.
Well, in Nashville traffic, that won't even get you halfway to where you're going to need to get to. So you listen to it twice, right?
Coffee, country, and Cody.
In studio with our friend Becky Buller on this Friday morning. The Becky Buller Band new album is called Jubilee. They had a CD release show last night at the Station Inn, and they are ganged around the microphone, if you will, and they are ready to play for us live here on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Before we start, great to see you again, and introduce the band for us before we do a couple live.
All right, over here on mandolin, he's really excited to be here in the Springer Mountain Farms studios because he works for Springer Mountain Farms in chicken logistics, Mr. Wesley.
Wes, you'll appreciate this.
Logistics.
You know, on occasion we do Springer Mountain Farms commercials at the Grand Ole Opry, and we do giveaways. And one time, you know, you guys, they're beautifully packaged in the freezer pack, and they deliver right to your door. But the woman who won thought she was getting a live chicken, and our poor Opry ambassador had to inform her that, no, we'll just send this to you. So, anyway, welcome. Good to see you, my friend.
Back here on the bass, when he's not picking with us, he's working at Jack Daniels in his hometown of Lynchburg, Tennessee, as a master machine operator. And it's Daniel the Hulk Harden.
Hello.
Daniel, have a case of the 12-year-old in the trunk. I'll make a nice purchase after the show. Maybe you hook a man up, playing a couple extra tunes off the record here. So go ahead. Sorry, I'll eventually let you get through all these introductions. Okay. I'm sorry.
Back here on the guitar, it's been such a pleasure working with him. He's so versatile. He and his wife Melody Walker had the band Front Country for a long time. Really great avant-garde bluegrass band. Mr. Jacob Groupman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Jacob, you don't got no chicken or jack for me. I don't know. So,
just music.
Okay. All right.
And over here on the banjo, he's the 2018 IBMA Banjo Player of the Year, 2023 IBMA Broadcaster of the Year, and he's going into the Banjo Hall of Fame October 12th, Mr. Ned Luberecki.
Hey!
Ned!
And as Too Slim would say, in the living category. So good. Live in studio with the Becky Buller Band this morning. The new album is Jubilee. It is out today. They had a CD release celebration last night at the Station Inn. And you guys are, I can't believe the New Englander is going to say fixing to get busy. But you got a lot of tour dates this summer. And the next one is coming up very close to Eryn Cooper's neck of the woods.
Yeah,
in
my mom's hometown.
Hagerstown, Maryland.
Cool. Ned is from Baltimore.
No way. I'm from Fairfax County, Virginia. So like an hour maybe from you.
You know what a good crab cake is.
I do.
Oh,
I do.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm ready. Just strap me to the roof. Let's go.
Yeah, and there's hope for the Orioles. So if you're a Baltimore fan, that's not bad either, right?
As we would say back in my homeland.
There.
How about them O's?
How about them O's? There you go. BeckyBuller.com. You can get all the information too. You still doing lessons too?
I am.
Yeah.
I'm still teaching on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Wow. You get mostly kids, or every once in a while you get somebody like my age who just someday decided, I want to play the fiddle.
Yeah, I have a wide range of folks, from kids to retirees, and people that are wanting to really pursue music, and some folks that are just wanting to do it for a hobby.
So who's easier, the 6-year-old or the 60-year-old?
It depends on the day.
Your day or theirs?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
All right.
No, I love teaching. I really do.
All right. And you mentioned family earlier. Romy is how old now?
Romy's 11. She's graduating from College Street Elementary in Manchester, Tennessee, this coming Thursday.
And she is 6 weeks older than my son Jackson.
Oh my goodness!
And they've been betrothed.
They have, yeah.
Since they were infants.
When does the payment of the hillside with big strong boulders? When is that necessary? I got a little while still to work on that, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. Because we've had no other offers, so we're fine.
Okay.
On our end,
glad.
on our end, we're fine. So, Becky, it's always great to see you. I can't believe it's been 20 years. Oh, wow. So, well, not 20 years since we've seen you, but 20 years since the first visit. But the new album is called Jubilee, the Becky Buller Band. Catch them on the road. All the information is at beckybuller.com. Well, somebody who is not feeling the blues this morning, Lainey Wilson, because what a night for her in Frisco, Texas last night, Eryn Cooper. Yeah.
Goodness. Lainey Wilson, she was the big winner last night. She took home 3 awards, including Female Artist of the Year, the coveted Entertainer of the Year, and Musical Event of the Year with Jelly Roll. If you're watching on Circle Country, I made a little triple award graphic just to emphasize what a big winner she was. And in just a little bit, we're going to show you a very special moment that she shared with Kelly Sutton. But first, the Opry was backstage and doing the red carpet, and we have a wonderful recap with Miss Mackenzie Porter, who stepped in to be a little red carpet reporter with all of her favorite Opry stars. So let's take a look at the red carpet action from last night's ACMs.
It's such a crazy feeling being surrounded by all of these artists that I've looked up to for so long. It's like, I can't believe I'm here. I really can't.
Okay, red carpet is crazy. It's really fun getting to see all of my friends.
I wanted to make sure when I made my Opry debut, it was very intentional and was not rushed. That was easily the best and the most emotional night of my entire career for sure.
So your job, asking people questions, I always have wanted to do and been like, that would be a fun thing to try. So that maybe one day.
You want to start today?
Right now?
Right now.
Okay, let's do it. Your first ACM carpet, what's the vibe?
Oh girl, I'm just excited to be here. I'm taking it all in. It's definitely chaotic, running into friends left and right.
So I just heard you are one of the newest Opry members.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? How do you even process that?
It's a lifelong dream come true. I heard of the Opry when I was literally a child.
Hey, congratulations on 5 nominations.
Thank you.
What, are you able to even process that, or?
I try not to think about things too much. It's kind of like back when I was riding bulls. If you think about it too much, something's going to go wrong. Just nod your head and go with it.
You're about to play the Opry, right?
Yes.
Do you, how do you feel?
So excited.
Do you feel nervous?
It's my Opry debut.
What?
That's such a big deal.
How cool. Mackenzie Porter did so well. From what I saw, they literally just kind of threw her in. They're like, you want to talk to everyone you know?
Well, in Canada, she's done as much TV as she's done music. So she's pretty natural in front of a camera, too. So good job for her. So,
she is so awesome. And a brand new mama. Good job, Mackenzie Porter.
Very brand new.
Yes. Exactly. Well, as we said, Lainey Wilson, the big winner last night of all the acceptance speeches other than Jelly Roll. She has got to be my favorite person to listen to because her gratitude is just so genuine. This is what she had to say after she won Entertainer of the Year last night.
Y'all, I remember being a little girl and I would climb out on the top of our roof. I'd open my window and climb out and I would count all the stars and I would look up and I'd see the planes flying over my little town of 200 people and I'd dream about being up there in one of those planes and it's so crazy because this year we have already toured the UK, Europe, and Australia, and we're about to start our American leg. And the funny thing is I still feel like that little girl. I really do. I feel like I still climb out on the roof and I look at the stars, except I feel like I'm a little more eye level with them now. Everybody in this category has loved on me and believed in me, took me out on the road.
Just what a queen. She is so grateful for everything that she's a part of. So other than Entertainer of the Year, we said Female Artist of the Year and musical event with Jelly Roll.
Yep, for Save Me.
Yes. Oh, what a great song. Also, my prediction for Male Artist of the Year, Chris Stapleton. I was right. I was actually kind of surprised I was right.
Good for him, though. Well, good for you, yes.
Very, very well deserved for Chris Stapleton. He landed 3 wins in total last night. His 4th Male Artist of the Year, his 4th Album of the Year, and Artist Songwriter of the Year, which we announced yesterday. But he also wins for Biggest Surprise of the Night because he brought out none other than Dua Lipa for Think I'm in Love with You. Take a listen to this. It's incredible. Who would have thought that their voices would sound so perfect together? They're perfect separately, but together, magic.
Yeah, really nice.
Yes.
And then a nice surprise, too. It's hard to keep surprises. So
exactly.
I'm a little jealous Kelly Sutton got to visit with Dua Lipa after the show, too.
Yes.
So,
oh, my gosh. Let's take a listen to how Dua Lipa said this whole thing came together with Chris Stapleton.
I'm just such a massive fan of his, and I reached out and I was like, I would love to do something together, and I knew that he was going to do this, and we just kind of started brainstorming on ideas on how to collaborate and reimagine his songs. It was just a massive dream come true, you know, when you're a fan, you just kind of like sit back and listen and watch, and I really got to do a lot of that with him and his band for the past few days, and just kind of dive in with my input, and our worlds kind of merging and colliding was just such a fun thing to do and to see, and it just made me really love my job. It made me really, really.
How cool it is to be a celebrity, to just be like, let me just call Chris up. This is kind of something I want to do. Let's try it out.
She's taller than I thought she was, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or she's got big heels.
Oh, she could be a supermodel.
Yeah.
She basically is. Yeah.
Very smart, too. I read a great interview with her a couple months ago in the New York Times Magazine. And boy, from the business standpoint, she's really got it down as well. It's not just, you know, she's not going to be manipulated. You know, she's in control, which I love that about her career. So,
exactly.
All right, quick run through some of the other winners.
Yes, quick run through some of the other winners. Duo of the Year, Dan and Shay, which had been their first time winning this since 2020.
Yeah, because I think Brothers Osborne had won it like a few years in a row, right?
Yep, that's right. And then it was another year, another win for Old Dominion, who nabbed their 7th straight Group of the Year trophy. Insane.
Well, good for them. Yeah, 7. We're going to have to rename it after them. Well, of course, it was, for a long time, it was Alabama. And then Brooks and Dunn had that duo thing forever, too. So 7's a pretty good roll. So. And then
I will throw in there, Fast Car was Single of the Year from Chris Stapleton. Or, I'm sorry, Luke Combs. Why did I say that? I was looking at the graphic and saw Chris Stapleton on TV.
Tracy Chapman's going to get the money anyway.
Exactly.
So it all works out all right.
Okay, maybe we speak this into existence now. Maybe now Chris Stapleton has to do a version of it. That would be very interesting.
He could do it. He could do a fine version of it, too.
Coffee, Country, and Cody on WSM.
Oh, he's been one of our favorites throughout the years on Coffee, Country, and Cody. It is a pleasure to welcome back Drew Holcomb. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, back-to-back nights at the historic Mother Church Ryman Auditorium tonight and tomorrow. Tickets available at ryman.com. Always great to see you.
Good to see you, too. Good morning.
And we kind of wrapping up this leg of the tour at one of the best places on earth.
We've always wanted to end a tour at the Ryman. We've, the last 5 or 6 tours, we've always had the Ryman in the tour and never ended there, and thought we want to end it at the home church, the Mother Church back home. So great to wake up in my own bed this morning, play a few shows at the Ryman, close it out.
I was joking with you before we started, but this is very much the truth. When they reached out about having you in, my first response is, well, yeah, we love Drew at WSM, but I looked at this tour schedule. I'm like, I don't know when he's going to come in, because it's a pretty packed schedule unless he comes in the morning of the show. Yeah. And I worked the Opry with Ellie just a month ago, and I said that. He goes, yeah, he could probably use a day off. So, but it is great.
I'll take a day off on Sunday.
It is great to see you this morning. So, the Ryman has been such a integral part of both personally for you and Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors as a band, because there have been so many monumental events at that place. And I just listed a few, and there may even be more, but there's a wonderful double album at the Ryman, recorded there. Great live record. You and Ellie have done solo together there at the Ryman. You celebrated your 40th birthday, had a birthday celebration at the Mother Church, which I think is really cool. And I'm sure there's others in there as well. But it's just such a special place.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's one of the most special places in my life. 2 others that are personal for Ellie and I. Ellie and I's first date was at the Ryman.
Patty Griffin. Yeah.
2005. And then our son Rivers, our 3rd child, he took his first steps backstage at the Ryman. Now I will say that he was trying for like a week, and Ellie just kind of kept pushing him over a little bit, like, hey, let's wait and do that on Friday.
I could not tell you how many people I have told that story to, because it's just the best. And anytime someone is at the Opry and they've got a little one and they're almost walking, I reference that. I'm saying, you could push them down until they get in the circle.
Yes. So it's a special place. I mean, we've done our own shows there for years. Like you said, we've got a live record there. We also have done Opry at the Ryman in the winter before, and my first time to ever do that was really sweet, because Vince Gill introduced us, and he's a hero of ours, and has become a friend. And so, yeah, I mean, the Ryman is like the most sacred musical space in the country, in my opinion. So to get to play there and is really, I never take it for granted.
Drew, you've also facilitated some really sacred musical spaces with Moon River in Chattanooga. This is very full circle for me this morning because when I used to be a news reporter for News Channel 9 in Chattanooga, one of my first assignments, and I was so excited because I wanted to do this one day, was to go cover Moon River. And I think I had an interview set up with you 3 years ago to meet you, and then I got called out on a breaking news story. I think it was a house fire, very sadly. So
Stupid house fire.
So I didn't get to cover the festival, and I didn't get to meet you.
Well, here we are.
But here we are.
I love that.
So,
That is very full circle.
But you started this awesome festival in Chattanooga.
Yeah, that's been quite a journey. Done it for 10 years. Moon River Festival. We're taking a little pause this year just for some logistical reasons. But yeah, it's been really fun. I mean, we creating, the whole thing is people say, how do you think about the show? And I always think about live music as sort of this conversation with the audience. I don't really see myself necessarily as an entertainer, although I think what we do is entertaining. I see it more like, carnival barking, like bringing people into this chaos and sharing these songs. And the festival's been a really fun palette to paint that vision on. And, it's been my whole career has been gravy. I mean, when I first moved to town, my goal was I want to sell out 3rd and Lindsley. And if I can do that, I will have made it. So to be able to get to a place where you're playing the Ryman and having festivals and touring with, we opened for Willie Nelson 3 nights ago in Lincoln, Nebraska, and got to sing with him at the end of the night. And you're just like, man, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Almost a little surreal at that point,
very
right?
surreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit of an out-of-body experience.
And you ticked on another one off the bucket list with the Fillmore on this tour.
Yeah, we played the Fillmore in San Francisco, which...
There's history in that place.
Major history. I mean, it's really where sort of the 60s rock sort of was birthed out of that place. And Tom Petty used to do these residencies to get ready for tours. He'd book it, 5 to 20 nights and kind of get ready for shows. And so, it's we've gotten to do some really cool things and cool collaborations over the last few years. I got to sing in front of Dolly Parton recently.
Oh, wow.
Ellie and we got invited to this thing, and she was there, and we played 2 songs, one of ours, and then they asked us to sing one of hers.
Oh, Lord. Could you see where she was sitting?
I mean, she was from here to the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was only like 200 people at this dinner gala thing.
Wow.
And she started a standing ovation for us. So we've had some just head scratching.
Oh, I'm kind of getting goosebumps
Wait a second.
on that one.
Dolly Parton started a standing ovation for you?
This is true. This is a true story. We have video of it I somewhere deep on the belly of my phone. But
that's wild.
It was neat.
Drew Holcomb in studio with us tonight and tomorrow at the Ryman Auditorium. I think one of the great things about what makes you guys so good as a band is if you go to a Wikipedia page for a band that's been around 20 years, and I think next year is 20 years, right? The 20th anniversary. So there's more festive things to plan, right?
That's right.
But, it'll give you a little history of the band, and it'll say members. And then there's usually a big column of former members. And there's no in the former members catalog. So in the category. So one of the great things about you guys, you've just done so many shows together, and it truly is a band. You referenced Tom Petty. I mean, you're kind of our Nashville version of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You guys
mark that down.
Yeah,
write that down.
Charlie said we're Nashville's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
But seriously, I mean, you can, if you want to change the set list, it doesn't take a whole lot for them to immediately follow where you want to go.
No, that's been really fun. On this tour, we've definitely made every night's been different, and they're incredible players. I mean, It's interesting, too, because they're all these great session players now here in town, in high demand, playing on all sorts of records. I mean, I feel very fortunate to have such a group of talented people they're not just, my bandmates, they're also my friends, and we've developed a great rapport over the years. We laugh a lot. We also give each other a lot of space. We had a new tour manager, and he's like, you guys are all pretty introverted on the road. Everybody kind of does their own thing. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's how we've survived for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like best friends. I've lived with my best friend of probably 8 years. We lived together for 4, and we will sit on the couch every night on 6 feet away and just scroll through our phones completely silent for hours. Like we're together all the time, but we just kind of like do our yes. That's how friendships survive.
We don't have to say any words to each other.
So what's your thing on the road? Are you a walker? Do you like to get out and experience thing? You a coffee shop person? Are you?
Well, I play a lot of golf on the road.
Okay,
that's my way to get some exercise and get outside.
Did I see you with Darius at one point?
Yeah, we toured Darius last year, and he and I played a lot of golf together. Yep. I actually got to play golf last year with Scotty Scheffler in Dallas at his charity event. I don't know if you've seen the news.
Well, I was going to say that's not going so well this morning, but
he's having a strange morning. Oh man, what a mess. But yeah, so I do that. I don't do that every day, maybe every other day. So I love a good long walk, find a good park or somewhere, and then exercise a little bit, eat some good food, but. Mainly, you spend most of your time sort of prepping for the show.
Yeah. Well, as you well know, it's easy to travel the country and see nothing. So you kind of have to make a point to do a little something.
You do, because you only have really about a 5-hour, 6-hour window before we start the workday sound check at like 3:30. So then it's kind of full bore for me. So
that's another great thing about the Ryman, especially if it's a sunny day. Sound check at 3 or 4 in the
walk
afternoon
around downtown.
Oh man, but the lights coming in through that stained glass. It's like it's really, you can really tell it's a church because it's spiritual at that point. So.
More Coffee, Country, and Cody is on WSM.
Welcome back, WSM Radio and Circle Television, circlecountry.com. That's kind of your one-stop shop. You can stream the show there, and it'll link you to all our other streaming platforms. Always fun to hang out with Drew Holcomb and the neighbors tonight and tomorrow at the Ryman Auditorium. And really cool opening acts, special guests really on both shows.
Yeah, we've got Abraham Alexander tonight, who's really great songwriter out of Texas. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Leon Bridges. And then we were talking Donovan Woods, who's just a fantastic songwriter out of Toronto, who's a veteran like me. And he's been on the whole tour with us, so it's been great.
First time I ever heard Donovan, he's joined us a couple of times in studio. First time I ever heard Next Year, I'm like, whoa. It made me immediately go do something with my son.
Absolutely, yes.
Because that is a wake-up call.
I know,
right?
You hear that song, you're like, I definitely need to take my son fishing or camping.
Or to the ball game or something,
game,
build a tree house, whatever, because there ain't no next year. So Ryman.com for tickets, just a few left for both nights. So since you've obviously played the venue a lot, we talked about that. And First Date with Ellie was at the Ryman. Is there a spot out in the crowd you like the best?
Ooh.
To watch a show?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, we were, on the first date, we were house right, stage left, back row, not the last section on the left, but the second to last. So those two seats obviously have a particularly sentimental spot. But if I'm buying tickets to a show, I try to get those seats right in front of the soundboard.
Yeah. Well, essentially, that is the best sound, right? Because you're hearing what the guy who's doing the front of house is hearing as well, too. Right. So I'm partial to the first row of the balcony in any section.
Anywhere.
Because it's the only place in that beautiful building that you have legroom.
Well, it's also the only place where you're not guaranteed to sit in front of a pole.
Well, there's
I was
going
to say, anywhere not in front of a pole at the Ryman.
Yeah, that's
true.
The first time I went to the Ryman, I made the mistake of sitting in the floor in the back, and I was like, wait. What? I can't see anything.
Yeah. But at least it's not the old days when, like, the old spittoons, when you would have had, like, tobacco juice leaking on you through the ceiling. So we got rid of that part of the historic Ryman.
Way better now.
So, and there's the date night seat, I call it.
Oh, yeah.
The two-seat row.
Down, bottom left.
Yep. Section 8, I think, is what it is in that corner.
Spot.
Yeah. My wife and I sat there for Mary Chapin Carpenter.
Oh, that's great.
So, but it is cool, though, because you've seen enough shows there that how good that sound is. So when you're on stage, you kind of know what you're giving them.
Well, and also too, I was in special rooms like the Fillmore, the Ryman, Radio City. That as an audience member, that the artist is going to give it something extra because it's the special room.
Yep.
And so you're going to get a unique show relative to just like Des Moines on a Tuesday.
Right.
Anytime an artist is on stage there, they sort of. They're carrying the weight of all the ghosts, and they take it very seriously.
Yeah, the great story, and I think it's true because I heard it from Joshua, who does all the history stuff at the Ryman. Is when Springsteen did the Ghost of Tom Joad tour there, fell in love with the building so much. The next time they were in town, they were playing Bridgestone, but he brought the whole band over, and they toured the Ryman just to kind of get that feeling.
Wow,
yeah, because it was just him and Patty on the acoustic tour. So I was there, section 3, row E.
Oh, wow.
For the Ghost of Tom Joad tour.
I am insanely jealous.
That was a pretty special night. So, yeah. Memphis, Tennessee is home.
Yep.
But you would have been certainly born post Elvis, I'm thinking, right?
Oh, yeah. I was born in 82.
Yeah, he passed in 77. But how much of a presence is he in that city even, what in your formative years, a decade or two after he passed?
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely done a great job of, making everybody aware that this is like part of the magic of the city.
Mm-hmm.
But they've also done a great job in the last 25 years of bringing out all the history with Stax and High Records.
Yep.
With there's the Stax Museum right there by the Grizzlies, by the FedEx Forum. So there's all this other great history there. And but yeah, I mean, it's definitely like growing up in Memphis, probably how people in Nashville feel about the Opry.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like this pervasive part of the historical and cultural landscape of the city. Now, Memphis people, we have a little bit of a chip on our shoulder about Nashville stealing everybody. Johnny Cash moved here after Sun Records, and Elvis left, and I mean, he didn't move here, but he started recording here. And we actually did this record at the studio called House of David, which sadly is no longer a studio. But there was a trap door built for Elvis to escape out of the back in the basement, so that the fans in the front he wouldn't have to interact with them. And so the trap door was there, and we recorded 20 years ago, 18 years ago. And so there's like little bits of Elvis, history sort of strewn throughout the country, not just in Memphis.
My favorite era of Elvis is the 68, 69, 70, those American sound recordings from Memphis. And sadly, that studio is gone too, But Liberty Land would have been a part of your childhood.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Are you kidding me? The Zippin' Pippin?
There we go.
There's actually a lyric on my new record about Graceland. I'll just sing like 30 seconds of it. It's a song called That's On You, but it's like, Graceland, it took me 35 years to see that house with its gold record tears. And it's a whole thing about how I never even went to Graceland until I was like 35 years old. Like nobody goes to see the thing.
It's like people in New York
from Nashville that have never been to the Opry, and I'm like, how is this possible?
People from New York don't go to see the Statue of Liberty.
No,
or any
exactly.
of that
I grew up in
Exactly.
D.C. I've never been to the White House.
Yeah.
I've looked at it, but I haven't
you just
taken a tour.
You take it for granted.
Right, because it's always there.
It's always there. You'll go sometime.
Always do. Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Zippin' Pippin. Oh, that's a good memory there.
That and the Wabash Cannonball were the two greatest roller coasters in the South.
I love old venues too. So anytime I'm in Memphis, and if I'm within walking distance, I will walk to the Liberty Bowl and then go across the parking lot and just make one lap around the Mid-South Coliseum while it's still standing. Because it shocks me that it's still standing but has been empty for so long.
And my first shows that I saw were at the Mid-South Coliseum.
Are they just waiting for it to implode or hoping somebody rehabs it?
Yeah, I think that's I'm completely in the dark.
Okay.
On that, honestly, but it is like it's interesting. It's pretty similar to here. Municipal Auditorium gets like 4 shows a year.
Right. Yeah. But ours is in a little better shape than that one. The roof is starting to peel off the poor Mid-South
Coliseum. I saw Chris
Coliseum.
Ledoux at the rodeo there when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Jerry Lawler?
Oh,
you a wrestling fan as a kid?
Me? Yeah. Jerry Lawler. You see Jerry Lawler like walking around town, and he's just around. He was my brother's landlord once.
Well, you would not be late with your rent payment, right? We had him in studio one time, and I had more emails from people at our office asking if they could come and take a picture with Jerry Lawler. I mean, it was just crazy.
What an awkward position for you.
Yeah. Well, I said he was happy to. He said, "Come on over, everybody. We'll take all the photos you want to take." So, and we never have enough time, but it's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me in.
All right, tonight and tomorrow night, Ryman Auditorium. Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors, one of the best live bands on the planet. Well, the Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers of Music City, USA. You heard it here on WSM.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
You said to me one time, years ago, and I committed this to memory, that your gift was your ability, your ears. God gave you these ears that hear things the rest of us don't hear.
Yeah, I think so. That's kind of what you learn to do. Is even though it's a gift, you still learn how to use the gift.
Sure.
And you listen to something and go, what does it need? What does it need either added to or taken away? And each one is equally as important. It's like nothing worse than too much information. I got that lesson young, as a young picker and on a record somewhere and playing a solo and played and got finished. The guy gets to talk back. Man, that was impressive. He said, let's try it again. He goes, This time, just play me half of what you know. It was like a dagger in the heart,
Touché, baby.
But it was a great learning experience, you know.
Well, you know those two voices. Bill Cody, Vince Gill. Bill Cody presents Vince Gill, the guest on the latest episode. Season 2 is airing now. It streams Saturday night, the debut airing, and then it will stream throughout the week as well. Bill Cody presents already. Lainey Wilson was last week's guest, and Vince Gill this weekend. So pretty special stuff. Vince will be at the Opry tonight and tomorrow, by the way. Little break on the Eagles tour. At the end of the month and in early June, they go to Manchester with the Eagles, and the Doobie Brothers are going to open. John Cowan joined us yesterday. He's heading out with the Doobies on that tour. Tonight at the Opry stage, Jeannie Seeley will be there. Whitey Morgan will make his Opry debut. Oh, I love there's some Waylon in that guy's music. I love his stuff. Can't wait to meet him and watch him debut on the Opry stage. Connie Smith, Country Music Hall of Famer. Catching the Boys, Old Crow Medicine Show. Charles Eston, Julia Cole.
Favorite.
One of the funniest guys on the planet, Gary Muldeer, will be there tonight, and I reference Vince Gill will close out the night as well. So tickets available at Opry.com, and then Vince is back tomorrow night as well. So wrapping up our Friday morning visit on Coffee, Country, and Cody, and it's not all we are wrapping up here at WSM. So we've got some changes coming on Monday morning, a few programming changes at WSM, and you will be, let's just put it this way, you will be living a much more normal lifestyle and getting a little more sleep and not waking up in the middle of the afternoon, because Eryn Cooper, you are going to afternoon drive from 3 to 7.
That is right.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm saying it out loud to somebody other than my mom and my dad and my roommate. Yes, On Air with Eryn will be starting Monday, May 20th, 3 to 7 in the afternoons on WSM Radio. This is absolutely unreal. I've been with you guys on the morning show for 6 months, but I feel like I've known all of you guys for years. You guys have become my friends, and I have learned exponentially more than I ever imagined I could. I'm so excited to emphasize the new artists that we have coming out. It's really cool. I've been in town to a point where some of the people I first met 3 years ago when I moved here, they're starting to make their Opry debuts. And so that's really cool. I can kind of go on this journey with them. And I moved here 3 years ago without a job. I quit my news job, moved here, started my own business, and radio found me. And this is just absolutely unbelievable.
And on Opry nights, you'll be handling the Opry warm-up show leading into showtime as well, too. So we're kind of coming full circle. So.
And don't worry, Miss Lexi Carter, who we love, is still here. You now get to have Late Nights with Lexi, weekdays 12 to 5 a.m. Oh, look at, if you're watching on Circle Country, she has the coolest pink blazer on in her new graphic. Lexi is such a force. I call her the Phoebe Buffet of WSM because she is so cool, so fun, and just, as I said, such a force. So we are so excited to go on this new journey together, and I'm going to miss all of you so much. What am I going to do?
I'm just trying to picture Lexi sing Smelly Cat. Smelly Cat.
Oh,
Smelly
she'd knock
Cat.
it out of the park.
So that starts Monday.
And
then Annie and
Monday.
I, who you've seen a couple of times and heard a couple of times this morning, throughout the week, I should say, on Coffee, Country, and Cody. She will be our new studio director.
Yes.
And
she's been doing so great. Yep. Annie is so fun. You guys will be in great hands. And thank all of you who are listening and watching for welcoming me and making me feel at home at the Opry and WSM.
Well, you know, it's an interesting time in the morning, too, because not that you shouldn't get along with your coworkers at all times, but if you're working like, 9 to 5 and it's somewhat normal hours, there's people you like and there's people you kind of put up with, and it's all okay because you're awake and it's the middle of the day. But when you're waking up at dark 30 and it's, and everybody's coming in a little tired because they had to work something the night before, that chemistry is huge. So we're very happy for you, but we're going to miss you for sure. So.
But when we have weeks like this, when there's literally 3 of us, you, me, and Jeff Roberts in Master Control, I'll be back every once in a while. So.
All right, so one last entertainment report, and Lainey Wilson is at the top of it this morning.
Yes, the 59th Annual ACM Awards were last night. Kelly Sutton was on the red carpet. Riga McIntyre hosted, combined her first and last names there. And Mackenzie Porter, who was just in studio with us, she joined the Opry crew on the red carpet last night as well and caught up with some of her favorite friends. So let's take a look at the Opry's recap from last night.
It's such such a crazy feeling being surrounded by all of these artists that I've looked up to for so long. Like, I can't believe I'm here. I really can't.
Okay, red carpet is crazy. It's really fun getting to like see all of my friends.
I wanted to make sure when I made my Opry debut, it was very intentional and was not rushed. That was easily the best and the most emotional night of my entire career for sure.
So your job, like asking people questions, I always have wanted to do and been like, that would be a fun thing to try. So that maybe one day.
You want to start today?
Right now?
Right now.
Okay, let's do it. Your first ACM carpet, what's the vibe?
Oh, girl, I'm just excited to be here. I'm taking it all in. It's definitely chaotic, like running into friends left and right.
So I just heard you are one of the newest Opry members.
Yeah.
What does that feel like? Like, how do you even process that?
It's a lifelong dream come true. I heard of the Opry when I was literally a child.
Hey, congratulations on 5 nominations.
Thank you.
What are you able to even like process that, or?
I try not to think about things too much. It's kind of like back when I was riding bulls. Like if you think about it too much, something's gonna go wrong. Just nod your head and go with it.
You're about to play the Opry too, right?
Yes.
Do you like? How do you feel?
So excited.
Do you feel nervous?
It's my Opry debut.
What?
Like that's such a big deal.
I could not agree more with Cody from my extensive bull riding experience. I'm right with you, Cody. So, oh God, who was at the end that's going to make her Opry debut?
That's Dasha.
I thought it was Dasha. Yeah, and I will be there for her Opry debut. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we'll get people to do some line dancing in the crowd. Right?
Oh,
'Cause
I
that's
hope
kind of
she
become
does.
the TikTok thing, right?
Yes,
So,
when she
yeah.
came in a couple months ago, her song was at 3 billion views. Insane. So yes, of course, Lainey Wilson, as we mentioned, she was a top winner last night, winning 3 trophies, including the coveted Entertainer of the Year award that follows her Entertainer of the Year CMA award and Grammy for Best Country Album. And Kelly Sutton got the most special moment with her backstage after she had won. You can tell Lainey just doesn't know what to do with herself. Take a listen.
Okay, what do you do next, Lainey Wilson? Go get some food and take my shoes off. Amen to that. Amen.
Get some food and take your shoes off, girl.
That-
You deserve that.
That's what I'll be doing in approximately 5 minutes here at WSM.
Me too. I have worn the same pair of shoes every morning on this show except for 5 days because I stand for 6 hours. So
That's funny. I can't stand where you are. I have to sit over there.
I feel very in control when I do this.
Yeah, well,
But-
maybe that's my problem then.
Also, Chris Stapleton, he landed 3 awards last night at the ACMs, including his 4th Male Artist of the Year award, his 4th Album of the Year, and also Artist and Songwriter of the Year. And he gave us all a massive surprise when he brought Dua Lipa on stage to do a duet of Think I'm in Love with You. Their voices sound incredible. Take a listen. Oh my goodness. Okay, we need a recorded version of that yesterday. We need it now.
Good groove.
Yes.
Yeah. And by
So
the way,
good.
another collaboration you were very excited about happened, right? With Nate Smith,
Nate Smith and
Avril
Avril.
Lavigne.
It was
Yeah.
everything that I hoped it would be. Real quick, the other winners included Group of the Year, Old Dominion, their 7th year in a row doing that. Duo of the Year, Dan and Shay. Album of the Year, as I mentioned, was also Chris Stapleton. And real quick, before we have to go, I did want to mention Randy Travis is bringing his More Life tour to the Ryman. That show is going to be on June 5th. You can get tickets for that right now. James Dupre will be doing the guest vocals for that show.
Yep. And he was very involved in the new AI single from Randy, because that's what they built all those tracks around. So it's Coffee, Country, and Cody. We'll be back to tell you about the weekend and Monday when we return. Well, what a fun Friday morning here on Coffee, Country, and Cody. Big thank you to Eryn Cooper. Again, she's moving to afternoons. I'm Charlie Mattos. Billy Boy's back on Monday. Kelly Sutton is back on Monday, so we got most of the gang back. And a big thank you to Becky Buller and the band for coming by and playing for us. And Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors tonight and tomorrow at the Ryman Auditorium. Monday's show, we'll rewind to some highlight performances from the Opry. Also, Carson Peters in studio. I feel like we've known Carson about half his life. And Trey and Jen Smithfield with brand new music.
Love them.
Oh, yeah. Have a great weekend, everybody. You do good in afternoons.
I'll
okay?
try my
All right.
best.
Take care.
Bye.
Go!